Did I fix something? I fixed something. Yes! How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Shifting Lanes. My name is Hanson. Thank you so much for tuning in. And for this video, I'm going to swap out the end links on this 2005 Volvo S60R. Now, I was away last week because I was attending the Subaru Winter Experience. I was out in Eagle River, Wisconsin, where I drove a bunch of STIs and BRZs on top of a frozen lake. So if you want to see any of that footage, click the link up here. And in case you haven't noticed yet, this is also one of our new t-shirts. This is the Volvo S60R design. This comes in the white and the black logo, so make sure you check out our teespring.com storefront, which is linked down below. We've got a bunch of designs there. We've got the S60R, we've got the V70R, and also the C30. With that being said, let's get right into it. Let's swap out the end links on the front of this 2005 Volvo S60R. Oh yeah, this is the road to the shop. You can really hear it now. All the clicking. Let's fix that. Okay, so now that we've taken the wheel off, this is, I believe these are IPD end links. I'm not really sure. There's a blue boot on here, but we're gonna take this. This is fairly rusted, so I'm gonna apply some rust, what do you call it, PB Blaster or whatever, to kind of help us get rid of this. And this is an 18 mil, and down here this is going to be a 15 mil. So I believe that's different than OEM stuff, but we're going to be replacing this because I believe that this is the source of the sound, but currently I don't really have much faith in that. But yeah, we're going to swap this out. So hopefully this will come out pretty easily. Doing some fast forwarding a little bit, I was able to loosen that. What I did here is I just used an Allen key, kind of perched myself right on top of the suspension. This way I could get some leverage and loosen this bolt, which I'm so glad that this isn't that bad, but this is finally coming off. I know that this is a big hassle for a lot of people. See if I can get this this tool off here now. There we go. And then just kind of finish the job. Ooh, look at that. I can even loosen it by hand. All right, so this bottom bolt is a lot more stubborn than the other one, and I don't know if you see this, but this is the socket where you're supposed to put in the Allen wrench, but this sheared through the wall, so we're gonna have to take more drastic measures. We're gonna whip out the Sawzall and cut through the back here. You just want to make sure that there's no cables within the vicinity, because you don't want to cut anything that's critical. All right, so we're going to attempt this with the camera recording, but we want to cut through here because we've got a replacement end link, so we don't care about this old one. So we got our Sawzall. Make sure the blade's attached. Let's precariously place our blade over here, and then we're just going to apply pressure. Okay, so now that we're down here, I was able to finally get things off, but I started to Sawzall the back of this, which is would have been a big mistake, because I'll show you on the end link, there's a wider section that you definitely don't want to cut behind that, because then you'd have a broken end link or a cut up end link that's stuck with the sway bar. Now I'm gonna get rid of this eventually, but I don't have those new parts just yet, so I need to keep these old ones for the time being. But so before I cut all the way through, I realized my mistake, and then I basically just kind of got underneath and got the right size vice grip and then started loosening this. If you do want to use a Sawzall, make sure you loosen enough. I know that's probably an impossibility, but you want to draw this nut out just enough so that you could get a blade right behind the nut, because again, I was cutting on kind of like behind the fat part of the end link, and I'll show you on the new one. But yeah, these end links seem to be a little bit thicker than this one, but you know, we're not really sure if this is a tube or if this is just solid rod, but it looks like the boots are a little bit beefier for the Miley ones. And just to show you what I was talking about in terms of the boo-boo that I almost had, but you see this boss here. The sway bar sits in front of this boss and also behind this nut, so it's sandwiched between the two. I started cutting behind the boss, and that would have been bad because had I cut all the way through, the sway bar would have, or this piece would still be stuck in the sway bar. But I realized my mistake and I applied vice grips on here and just tried to loosen this, and I was able to get it out. But yeah, so success. So it turns out because there's no socket in front of the bolt here to prevent this entire thing from turning, I found out that there are wrench flats on here, which is awesome. You know, this has a bigger surface area so that, you know, you don't strip out the socket that's on there. But I think you need a 16 mil. So the tough thing is that you kind of have to put this behind, and you know, you kind of have to press the boot a little bit here as it tightens, and then pull it out. Alright, so now I don't know if this is going to do anything, but I am going to apply some anti-seize just on the tops of the threads here to minimize any sort of corrosion so that I could take this off in the future. These are the two end links. This is the driver's side. As you can see, this is in, I would say this is in pretty good shape. You know, like there's still a lot of oil in there, and there's a lot of resistance preventing me from like moving this around. And you know, same on the other side. So I consider these end links to be still pretty good, but for the passenger side, the top side is still in good shape, but the side that I had to cut through, you could see how easy it is for this thing to move. And I don't know if you could hear that, but so I don't know if that's the sound that I'm hearing. Again, these links are under a lot of load, so I wouldn't be surprised if this was the source of the sound. I think I'm done for the day because I sort of ran out of time, but I was able to switch out the front end links, which I thought was the big problem with the noise, with the clunking that I've been hearing. So at least I got that done. I'm going to save the rear end links for another day. I've heard that it's somewhat easier, but you know what? Given the amount of struggles that I've had, given all the rust on these end links, I think that's going to be like another 3 to 4 hours. That's how much time I've spent here so far total, just because I just struggled with the rust, and then I applied the PB blaster and so on, just kind of like let it sit for a little bit. That seems to do the trick for some of these stubborn bolts. Overall, really not that difficult of a job, but still, this is, you know, a relatively old car, and this has been in the Northeast, I'd say, most of its life, and as a result, it has a lot of rust to show for it. So, but that's okay, because I've got it done, and now let's go for a drive. Okay, I'm outside of the shop now. Did I fix anything? Let's see. Now this is the same bumpy road that we drove in on the way down, obviously. I don't hear anything. Did I fix something? I fixed something. Yes! I fixed it. That sound is gone. Let's get on the main road and see if I don't suddenly swerve onto the side here. But, oh yeah. It sounds great because I don't hear anything. Getting on the main road. Smooth. Love it. Ah, yes. Okay, next issue, or the next sound I'm hearing, and this is something that I've heard all the time, is when I start moving, I hear a clicking noise. So, watch out. There it was. Just a quick click. Sounds like it's coming from underneath the car. So, watch out. So all you Volvo whizzes out there, whizzes? Anyway, all you Volvo gurus out there, please let me know what you think that sound is. It doesn't seem like it's a big problem, but let me know what your thoughts are. And anyway, thank you so much for watching till the end. If you learned something from this video, please consider giving us a like, hitting that subscribe button, and also hitting that notification bell so you can get notified anytime we make a new video. I'm gonna close it out right there. My name is Hanson. This has been the 2005 Volvo S6TR, and the sound is gone. Amazing. And I'll see you next time.